Hello, Lori here from Unique in the Creek. So this is one of our kits that we came out with. It's the Easter Bunny Face Kit. It is done on our character board. So as you can see, our character board, it is recycled plastic. So not only are our boards made in North America, Canada, we also use 100% recycled plastic. So those yogurt containers that you guys eat from and, cottage cheese and everything, they get ground down and they make your Unique in the Creek boards. How cool is that? So we have a really huge global footprint, thank goodness, to, help the environment. So this is the Unique in the Creek character board. As you can see, it's got a solid center. Okay, we have hundreds upon hundreds of UV vinyls on our website. Okay, so what basically happens is we make our sign and our wreath frame all one piece. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's just quickly go over what's in this wreath kit. So this wreath kit has the Unique in the Creek character board. It has the Unique in the Creek. It has this really cute bunny face. Okay, this bunny face you can buy separately as well. It's $10.20. You also get this fabulous, you get a whole roll of this white snowdrift mesh, which we're going to put around our bunny's face. You get this is new stuff. Fabulous double-sided, this is a 7/8 inch roll, 10-yard roll of ribbon, okay? We're not even going to put a dent in this ribbon. I've been using this ribbon for quite a few projects, but you do get the whole roll of the deluxe ribbon. It is a double-sided ribbon, and one side is plaid, and the other side is a lime green. Okay, so we are going to use this. I think I'm going to put a little bow in, and I'm going to make this a girl since I already made a boy earlier in the month. You get these look at these bunny ears, these fluffy fur bunny ears. You get the bunny ears. You get a packet, and this packet includes a Unique in the Creek squeegee. Okay, and I'm going to show you why you need it. This can be reused many times. Like I said, we have hundreds and hundreds of different vinyls. Okay, so one side is felted. You get a pipe cleaner. We're going to use that pipe cleaner for our bow. You also even get an adhesive measuring tape in case you're just a beginner and you don't have all the fancy tools like a cutting mat and rotary cutter and all that stuff. We give you an adhesible ruler that you can just put down on your table. It's very low tack, and you can cut your mesh and ribbons with just scissors. So all you need for the kit is scissors, okay? You also get in your kit, we got a couple little carrots in here just for add-ons, and we got 100 pack of clear zip ties, okay? So you have everything you need except for scissors in your kit, okay? And I'm going to show you how to put this together right now. Alrighty, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to put our vinyl decal on to our character board. So just a little briefing, all our boards have numbering or lettering systems on it, especially great for if you're teaching. A lot of people use our boards for teaching workshops, okay? So the character board actually only has two circumferences, number 1 and number 2. So that's meaning the holes going around. And you'll see when you do get your board, there's lines going in between each of the set of holes, and then there's rows, okay? So it's really hard to see on the camera, I know that, but you will see it when you get your board. So you'll see there's a number 1 and a number 2, and this one is solid. That's the character board. You also have 2 holes that are divoted at the top, so they kind of, sink in. These are what we call our hanging holes. We're going to use a zip tie to make a hanger at the end of the wreath to hang our wreath on. So that's what these 2 are for. Okay, so this is going to be the top. where the hanging holes are, and the number 1 and 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do to do the vinyl, it's very simple. First thing you want to do is make sure there's no dust or anything. From Ireland, I'm from Canada. I don't know if I told you guys that, but I'm from Canada. So hello, everyone. It's your friendly Canadian crafter here. So in the center of our character board, is it a little bit rough? And that's just for the vinyl to grip on. Now these are the adhesive on our vinyls. Like I said, our vinyls are UV protected, but they also are water soluble adhesive, which means I can use water with my vinyl, and you'll see, to move it around, okay? So we're going to put our top, this is the top of our board, and what I like to do is just get a little bit of water. Now I have a little squirt bottle because I do quite a few character boards. You just lightly spritz your water. If you don't have a water bottle, just grab a damp cloth and, put a little bit of water on the center of your board. Okay, that's it. This is just so we can move our vinyl around just in case you don't get it straight on. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to peel your vinyl carefully off. And these are pretty thick. They are outdoor sign vinyls. Okay. So these are the stuff that you use on the side of trucks. So we like to use the water at first because this will adhere and cure in 24 hours. And then once the vinyl's on, it's on. Okay. So this is why we use a little bit of water at the beginning, because we're going to put our face on. So we're going to make sure our face is in between or inside the last set of holes. And I just kind of look between his eyes. And this is the direct center of the board. Okay. So I can lay it down, and if it's crooked, I can lift it up still and still place it back down again. If I didn't use a little bit of water, would be a little tricky to lift it up because it is, the adhesive is very, very strong. Okay, and I just kind of look at it, look straight to me. I'm kind of looking at the straight. Let's go down his eyes. There we go. Right down the middle of his eyes. Let's move that up again. See how you can just kind of lift it. Now the adhesive will cure. You can still decorate it while it's a little bit wet, but it's good to go. Once you're satisfied of where your vinyl is, I like to take a piece of paper towel first and put it over my squeegee. And I start from the middle of my vinyl and push my way out all the way around my vinyl image. Okay, start in the center, all the way around. This is pushing out any of the water that's underneath and any air bubbles. Okay, and you can hear those air bubbles. I love it. Such a satisfying sound. And there we go. So the paper towel has collected any excess water. Now I'm going to go around with just the squeegee. Okay, and start in the center. And again, go from the center all the way around. This is just giving it an extra, adherence to the board. And any little tiny bubbles that it may come up. And that's it. Now your board and your sign are all one piece. Pretty fabulous, right? So, like I said, we have hundreds and hundreds of different vinyls that you can use on the character board and our rail board. All right, so we're just going to put this to the side, and we're going to prep our mesh. Now, I'm going to be using 16 pieces of mesh, and we're going to be using these clear zip ties. So, like I mentioned at the beginning, there is row 1 and row 2. I'm going to take one of my clear zip ties, and where the number 1 is, I'm going to go down the hole number 1 and back up row 1.5, and I'm going to leave my zip tie open. We call this preloading the board, okay? This is preloading open. Now, we are really famous for our flowers. It is really, really easy to make flower wreaths on particularly the large board and the small board. And we normally call it preloading the board closed, which means you're preloading just like I am, except when you do it closed, you're doing your zip tie up until you hear one zip, okay, and it locks. That's what we call preloading closed. However, what we're doing right now, we're preloading open. Okay, so we're leaving all those zip ties open because we're going to go around and we're going to put this really pretty snowdrift mesh onto our board. Okay, so just preload it like that. Some people like to flip it over and you just pop the zip tie in. I'm so used to doing it like this. I just go down one hole and back up the other. If you watch the different designers on Team Unique, everybody does it different. And not everybody uses zip ties. So we have a few designers that love to use pipe cleaners, so you don't always have to use zip ties. But I like zip ties. It keeps the back nice and neat. I know everything's on and going to be stable. And yeah, I'm a zip tire. So when you flip it over, that is literally all you're going to see for our wreath. It's going to be nice and clean. Okay, now you're going to cut 16, 1/6. And if you see Tina Kelly in your comments there, she is my right-hand man. So if you have any questions, put your questions in, and Tina Kelly will answer them. She knows everything unique in the creek. Okay, so we're going to cut 16, 1/6 pieces of this wonderful mesh at 22 inches. Okay, that's going to use up pretty much our whole roll. Sorry, got a drink here. I talk a lot. You'll see that. If you follow me at Unique in the Creek, we have a Facebook page, YouTube channel. We're all over the place. Okay, so you can either cut your mesh with a rotary cutter. If you have a mat and a rotary cutter, we're going to cut it at 22 inches. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you need 16 of them. So that'll pretty much be almost your whole roll of this mesh. Okay, now if you just have the measuring tape that we provide, you would just still roll out your mesh, line it up on your ruler at the top, and then you cut your mesh with your scissors at 22 inches. Okay, so you don't need all the fancy tools. Alrighty, so the fold we're going to do is just a simple ruffle, okay? A simple little ruffle. Now, I like to do curl up, so that means when I let go of my mesh, it curls up, okay? It's important when I do curl up, curl down, because a lot of like flowers sometimes are curl down and stuff. So that's why I always say if I'm doing curl up, this is curl up. Curl down obviously is like this, and it curls up underneath, okay? What you're going to do is I take this 22-inch piece, factory edges to the left and right. In front of you, my cut edges are at the top and bottom. I'm just going to roll or fold this in a few flips, and I'm going to scrunch or pinch right up the center of my mesh. So you're taking your pointer and your thumb, and we're scrunching it right up the center of your mesh till I get to the end, and I'm going to fold that in. So some people call this the woodland ruffle. So it's got a little bit of a curl and a ruffle, okay? That's our 22-inch piece. For this design, I'm going to keep it with the curl up, so it kind of looks like hair going around the bunny. Don't let go of your ruffle. Where you pinched it in the center, you're going to put it right on the board in between the tail and the head of the zip tie. Place it down, and we're going to do that zip tie up. Okay? I kind of like to, before I tighten it, make sure each end is about the same size. Once it is, zip it up tight. Okay? We're going to do that for every zip tie. Now I did pre-make some petals or some folds already, so you don't have to sit here and watch me roll mesh, but I'll do it one more time. So I rolled, you're gonna scrunch it all the way up the middle, and then you're gonna fold it in a few more and bring it to the center. That pinch is going to go into the next zip tie right in the center and do it up, and then you can make sure each end is the same and pull the zip tie up. Okay, so I've pre-done them. I clipped them, and it's really, really fast and easy. Like I said, this is definitely beginner friendly. It's a very easy wreath to start with, and it's super cute. You watch. So we're just going around in each zip tie we're putting in this woodland ruffle. Okay, so once you start piling the mesh in, you can see you don't see the board, and you're definitely not going to see the zip ties. And then on the back of your wreath, it's business on the back, party on the front. Now I'm going to go around and cut those zip ties off. If you're an avid Unique in the Creek board user and you like to use zip ties, we all use a zip tie gun. This is a metal one. And you go around and you slide the zip tie in the slit here, and it will tighten and cut your zip ties really fast. And I've had this one for almost 6 years. It's the exact same one I bought. I do have a link on my website for all my favorite tools, and this literally is one of my favorite tools. Okay, so you're just going to go around. You need 16. There's 16 of them, so they're hard to see, but you can also cut them as you're going. So as you put a ruffle in, you can cut the zip tie tail. But I just like to do it all at one. Oh, I cut the zip tie wrong here. Let's put another zip tie in. And that's another thing too with the boards. If you make a mistake, it's so easy to fix it. You just cut the zip tie. Well, I talked a lot too, Cindy, so this particular wreath I can make in about not even 20 minutes. All right, so there is our face with our mesh on the board. Okay. So I'm gonna just move this back just a bit. This zip tie, I broke it again. What the heck? This is I keep cutting the zip tie wrong. Let's put that back in again. Now normally I use my gray zip ties. But because this is white, so we do sell gray zip tie. Actually, they're out of stock. I have to get more. But the gray zip ties, they actually match. There we go. They match the actual board. So there is the front. Like I said, party on the front. Nice and business on the back. Okay, so if you're selling your wreath, you can put a sticker on the back with your business name. You can write a little note. You can date it. You can do whatever you want with a Sharpie marker, and it won't come off. Okay, so that is the back. Nice and neat. Now up top, where I said at the beginning, there's 2 holes. I'm going to take a zip tie. I'm going to go down 1 hole and push the tail back up the other hole. And we're going to make a little hanger just with our, with our zip tie. And then we'll just cut the end off, and that'll lock the zip tie. So there's our hanger. Now our ears, we're going to put our ears on. Now it's got a big, long wire in between. It's a 1 piece. You can either pull them apart and make them 2 pieces. And I did that in one of my, you'll see if you check my YouTube channel. I did the boy one like that, but the girl one, I'm going to do with her ears going downwards like this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is at the top, I'll flip it over so you can see. At the top where we put the, there's the Unique in the Creek logo, where we put our hanging haul. Right here, I'm going to put a zip tie from here to here, and we're going to put our ears in right there. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of my zip ties and go down like that, okay? And that is where we're going to be putting the ears, okay? So I'm going to cut this down. Again, you can, actually I'll show you, if you want to make the boy or if you want to have your ears facing up, this is just paper taped, and it's two ears, paper taped to one big wire stem. We're going to separate them. Okay, so you just kind of take the paper tape off, and you can rip it from the main stem here. I just find it's really hard to cut through these big stems, and we don't need this quite this large of a wire. Okay, just ripping the paper tape off, and it helps. Where's my... Where did my wire cutters go? Oh, there they are. Oops. Just going to cut away that paper tape, unwind it. Or if you do have the big wire cutters like I have, you can just snip it right there. Although you need quite a bit of hand strength to cut this big wire. Okay, so there is our bunny ears. Again, you can rip it apart to make two pieces. But because I want it right in the center, my ears are going to come down like this. I'm just going to zip tie this center, this big, large center one. Actually, maybe not. Hold on. There's one. Okay, there's one. Oh, thank you. I actually drew the bunny face myself. And there's the two. Okay, so now we've separated, or you can keep it as one piece. And these are all wired. So at the end, we can fold them up. You can, position them however you want. I'm going to take the end of the ear, and where I put the zip tie, I'm going to do it up till I hear a zip. Hear that? I'm going to put one end of my ear into the zip tie. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put the other one going the other way. Okay, going like that. Again, you can put your ears however you want. The last one I did it with the ears coming up. All right, and then we're going to zip tie that up. So now our ears are in there. You can add a little bit of hot glue into there if you want, just to make sure there's sturdy in there. And like I said, they're all wired, so you can have one, with the little ear up, have one going this way. And we'll be moving, at the end, we'll move all the mesh out of his face. So you can see, we'll just have it going like this. we'll have a floppy-eared rabbit. So that's what we got so far. Now, like I said, I'm going to have it as a girl, so I'm going to put a bow kind of right in the center of between her ears, okay? Hold it. I'm just going to loosen the ears up just a bit and put it underneath the mesh here. Hold on. Let's try that. Do that again. So I'm using hole 1.5 to hole 2 right down the center. And I'm just going to kind of loosen, pull this mesh back. Here we go. Do this up, and then I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of glue. My glue gun here. So we're going to make a little bow, because you do get a beautiful roll of 7/8 inch ribbon that we're going to make a bow to go right between her ears. So when I did the boy, I put the bow down here, but the girl I'm going to put up here. And we're going to move the mesh so it looks like there's a bit of mesh. There we go. And then the ears are coming out. Okay, so now we can do a bow. We're going to use this beautiful plaid 7/8 inch ribbon. Now you can use your bow maker for this, or you can just do your hand bow, whatever you're comfortable doing. I'll just use my bow maker. I'm not very good at doing hand bows. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I'm not really a designer. Okay, so I'm going to use my easy bow. We do sell these in the store as well. Actually, Leah Cavender is a really good friend of mine. I'm just going to use, now this is double-sided. Put it in, give it a half twist towards you so that green side is up. Come around, go down with the bottom side of your ribbon. I pull it to, because I said I wanted 5 inch. Give it a half twist towards you. Now the green side is up here. We're going to do the same thing. The bottom edge of your ribbon is going down the middle of the bow maker. My loop is at 5 inches. Give it a half twist towards you. And we're going to do 3 of these. Now you're not going to use very much of this ribbon, so you will have a lot of extra. It's perfect ribbon for making, actually I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to open my other one because I'm not going to have enough here. I'll start with a whole new. Now you can put ribbon throughout your bunny as well. If you don't want it just white. It's your wreath, it's your design, you do whatever you want. When we teach at Unique in the Creek, it's merely a suggestion. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so 1, we're going to do 3 at 5 inches. Just like this. Yeah, this is really, and it's very thick, this ribbon. It's a new deluxe ribbon that's come out to the market. Very thick, but it's got a really good wire. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then there's 1 tail. 1, 2, we got 1 more loop. Give it a half twist. Actually, I'm not going to give it a half twist because now I'm going to come in with the green side up. So if I did a half twist, it would bring the plaid side back up. I'm going to do the green side. I'm going to do 2 loops at about 4.5 inches with the green side. So when you're done your last 3rd loop here, don't give it a half twist, just leave it. And now the green side is up. Okay, so now we're going to do about a 4.5 inch. And this green loop is going to go in between these 3. So there's half, bring it down towards you. There's 1, I'm going to do another loop. Now, if you notice, I'm doing my bow, literally moving it around and fluffing it as I'm constructing the bow. Okay, so the green is going in between the 3 plaid. Now I am going to give a half twist because now I want the plaid side up again. Okay. Oh, sorry. No, we're not going to give a half twist. I'm sorry. We're not going to give a half twist because I want the plaid side up. And I'm going to do 1 loop on each side at 4 inches. So this 1 loop will go in between these 2 green, and the 2 green went in between the 3 plaid. Okay, so you're going to go down with that bottom edge, half twist towards you. This last loop is about 4 inches, half twist, come down. I'm not doing a half twist because I want the plaid side up, and we're ended our bow. And now I'm going to cut another tail. Cut my tail at 6 inches. So we started with a tail, ended with a tail at 6 inches. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3 a plaid, 2 of the green, and 1 plaid. 1, 2, 3 plaid. 2 green are going between the plaid, and this last plaid is going between the green. Now I like to put a zip tie around my bows, and then I put the pipe cleaner. Now, a lot of people do a pipe cleaner around the center of their bow, which is fine. This is very thick ribbon. So I find putting a zip tie around the center. So I just take one of my zip ties, make sure your bow's completely stacked. Come around the center with your zip tie. Keep your bow stacked. Okay, we're going to do that up. And I'm going to bring the head of the zip tie to the back. Okay, now I'm going to slip my pipe cleaner underneath my zip tie. And this pipe cleaner is what we're going to connect to the board. All right, so we'll pull the zip tie. Now don't pull it super, super tight that you can't move your loops around. All right, and then you're going to cut your zip tie. There we go. This is what's going to go to the board. We're going to dovetail the 2 little tails. So you're going to fold, when you dovetail, you're going to fold it in half. Lengthwise, you're going to cut from the folded edge to the outside corner. Folded edge, outside corner, and there's your dovetail. Fold it in half lengthwise, folded edge, outside corner, there's your dovetail. Okay, and then we can just move these around, or you can do this on the board. The nice thing with the boards is you don't really need a fluff box or anything because you can fluff everything once you attach it to the board. But I'll do it so you guys can see it a little bit better right here. Okay, so there's the one side. We'll do the other. So I have one tail going up, one tail going down. 1, 2, 3, and then we got the green in between. So you can see I barely made a dent in this ribbon. You do get the whole roll, you'll have lots. Okay, so we're going to put this in between our bunny's ears. So she looks cute, cute. And we have some carrots we can put on there too. So you can put your carrots wherever. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm going to literally, with the 2 ends of my pipe cleaner, right where I went, where's my glue gun? I'm going to put a little bit of glue right on the board, right across where I went. So my ears are zip tied, but they're also hot glued. So if somebody yanks them, they're not going to come out of the zip tie. And then I'm going to take right in the center, the 2 holes, when I flip it over, right here and right here, exactly where I did the rabbit ears is where I'm going to go with each end of the pipe cleaner. Okay, and now you're not going to pull it right to the board because if you pull your bow right to the board, you're going to suck it in. You don't want your bow sucked in. So you can see the 2 holes. Okay, I'm gonna put my bow right, so it's kind of sitting in the middle, and just pull it down. Now, again, I'm not pulling it down too tight because I don't want it being sunk into my, so if I pull it really tight, can you see how it's sunk in? We don't want that. That's a big bunch of nope. We're gonna pull this a little bit. Okay, flip it over. Give your pipe cleaners a few twists. We're going to cut the pipe cleaner ends off and put them back down the holes. Keep our back of our wreath nice and neat and professional looking. Like I said, you can tape your business card or slap a sticker on there if you have your Etsy shop or whatever on your wreath. Or even date it, sign it, whatever. That's the back. All right, and now we're going to make our bow pretty. We can do different things with our, oh, there's my dogs. Okay, we're gonna fluff our bow. Look how cute she is. Okay. And then we got the carrots. I'm gonna slide the carrots somewhere in the bow, I think. You got 2 carrots in the kit. We'll fix our bow. Isn't she cute? We can put our carrots down there. Where are they? There's 1, 2. We can slide them into the back of our bow. So they are wired and they're like a jute roping. You can put it into the zip tie and just, you know, have it coming out your bow if you would like. You can put them down here. You can glue it to your, you can make little earrings. You can do whatever you want. They're just accessories to, you know, amplify your wreath a little bit more. I'm just going to put 1 here, kind of like there. Trim this one down. I'm just kind of sliding it into the zip tie. And then I'll hot glue where I slid them in. Okay, there's the end. I know it's hard to see, but that's all I'm doing is just hot gluing them into my bow. So it looks like they're incorporated in the bow. And once the glue's dry, you can bend them or whatever because they are wired. And I think we're done. So we're going to move some of this back. Our ears are now glued, so you can move them around if you'd like. Move our mesh back. Fix our loops again. She's super cute. He's gonna go with the good boy one I made. And again, you can have your ears going upwards if you want. But there we go. That's it. Okay, so there's the front. Like I said, party on the front. Move these back a bit. Party on the front, business on the back. And that's it. Like I said, you can put some ribbons going in within the zip ties of your mesh if you want. But this is a very beginner-friendly basic kit. So I wanted to keep it basic. You know, if you've done wreath, we do have a lot of beginners. A lot of beginners that do Unique in the Creek wreaths. So I like to keep it kind of basic. But we definitely have over the top. Thanks for watching. And thanks for inviting me, Cindy. Bye, everybody. Thanks. Have a great day.